I'm just going to do a response video to Sarah, and yeah, let's get into it.
I am not 100% vegan. It's not because I eat meat at home all the time, or when I go out I always eat meat. It's actually when I go to people's houses. So a little while ago I said I would be vegan, but I can't because I really do, and this is how I feel. And that's the thing, this is how I feel. And if you don't feel this way, it's not like you're wrong or I'm right or vice versa. This is just how I feel. If I go to other people's houses and they're serving meat or something like that, I stay away from dairy, I stay away. But if they're serving meat, I don't want to be that person that doesn't partake in a meal or a certain festivity because I'm like, no, I'm vegan. I didn't want to be that person. I've had friends, I've even had my husband as that person, but not towards veganism, but towards gluten. And he'd go over to people's houses and be like, oh, no, I don't eat that because I don't eat gluten. People were offended. People tried their best to make a beautiful meal, or they would just make a beautiful meal.
Right, so the issue is that if you have a dietary requirement, you need to actually talk to the host about your dietary requirement before you go over. You can't really just get there and then say, oh, I'm vegan now, or oh, you know, I'm gluten intolerant. Because obviously if they're cooking dinner for you, they're probably going to put gluten in it if they don't realise you're gluten intolerant, or they're going to put some kind of meat in it if they don't realise you're vegan. So it's obviously very important to talk to the host before you go about your dietary requirements, and even, you know, offer to bring certain things around, like bring your own vegan meat or gluten-free bread or whatever.
Some people maybe not. I don't I don't care diddly squat about animals. I know. You've probably never heard that from a blonde white girl before. Literally, I don't like dogs, I don't like cats, I don't like rodents, I don't like animals, jungle animals, farm animals. I am not an animal person. Even growing up with pets, I could actually say, I always remember bugging my dad about this because he would say he never loved any of his pets. But looking back, I didn't love any of my pets, or like my family pets, like the dogs, my fish that I accidentally dropped down the garbage disposal. That's another story. We had this little like runt rat that was really cute, but like looking back, I was like, no, I never actually loved them. Like I'm not, you guys are probably like horrified, like I'm not an animal person. And
right, so the issue is that you don't have to care about animals to actually be vegan. You just have to accept that it's wrong to kill and harm them unnecessarily. I have a friend who's actually scared of animals. He's scared of ducks and dogs and quite a lot of animals. But he's still vegan because he accepts that it's wrong to kill and harm animals unnecessarily.
How bad it is for the planet. The amount of greenhouse gases and just pollutants overall from the whole like meat market and production is actually really crazy. Maybe I'm more of an environment kind of person. I'm not like a crazy environment, but I think like there's certainly things that's like, whoa, like honestly as a Christian, this is my father's world. And to have certain things like that happen, I don't know, it's just kind of like, ooh, that's a lot. Like that's really bad for you and stuff, you know? So I actually know it's better just like earth-wise to not eat meat. And I know you can kind of make.
So I think it's a really good idea to focus on the reasons, you know, why it's a good idea to go vegan. I think that you need to maybe do a little bit more research into the environmental issues surrounding animal agriculture. One of the main issues is that animal agriculture actually uses up a lot of land. I think it's 2/3 of our land are used for livestock feed, and then another quarter is used to actually for the livestock itself. So having that kind of idea in mind, it gives you information as to why so much of the rainforest is actually being cut down.
Towards them. But in my mind, personally for me, people have souls, and I would way rather shop ethically and save unborn babies and not support sweatshops and support men and women and children in slave labor. I know some people can actually do both. I know there's some YouTubers that are like very vegan, shop ethical, like human rights, all that stuff. I'm just not there. And
so if you're concerned about human rights, I think the best thing that you can do is actually go vegan. Now, the reason for this is that often if you buy locally sourced meat that you know is from a farmer who pays his staff well, the food that they're feeding those animals may well not be fair trade or at all. And that animal is being fed 10 times as much grain as you would eat yourself for the same amount of food and calories. So you're better off actually buying plant-based foods and then focusing on buying plant-based foods which are fair trade than trying to buy locally sourced organic meat, which gives farmers a good working conditions. Also, there are a lot of human rights issues in slaughterhouses. When we look at the manufacturing industry, actually opening up a manufacturing plant decreases the level of crime in the area, but this isn't the case for slaughterhouses. And this has been very, very well researched. I will link an article down below that I actually read on this subject. So I definitely think if you're concerned about human rights, the first thing that you need to do is go vegan.
Buy meat, absolutely. My husband likes it, my kids like it, so I buy it for them. But the ones that I buy is local, it's ethical, it's sustainable, and it's organic, and it's done in a proper way. I know some people can say that any type of killing of an animal is wrong. There's ways of doing it in a calm way, or even in like a dignifying way. Just like people, when people are put to death, there's always a way that's way better than another. And I choose to support the farmers that do it in a way that's very, you can even say gentle. So health,
there's no difference in the methods of killing used between organic animals and factory farmed animals. They're all killed in exactly the same way. One of the most common methods for killing pigs is actually gassing them. This means that they struggle in pain for, minutes, inhaling in these toxic gases, and these are exactly the same as was used in Nazi Germany with the Jews. So it's a very awful process. On top of which, you also have a lot of various issues with organic farming, one of which is actually killing male chicks at birth. That happens on organic farms all the time. Also elastic band castration, which is where an elastic band is tied to the cow's balls and they basically wither off and die. This can cause various issues for the animals. If the elastic band snaps, the inoxygenated blood will go into the oxygenated blood and it will actually poison them and they will die. So there's various, problems with organic farming anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. Check out my ebook in the link in the description and please subscribe and like this video. Bye guys.